Commodity TV here, the second day of Rohstoffmesse Munich, and it has been a really good day yesterday, and today it started pretty well, and I'm so happy that I have with me Mike McAllister, the Vice President Investor Relations of Cerrado Gold. So Cerrado Gold is one of the few companies here who are in production, gold production, and so let's talk about the company. Mike, thanks for having the time.
Happy to be here.
Perfect. How has the fair been till now?
It's been good. We've had actually several companies come by and talk to us, as well as a lot of investors. And so it's been a good use of my time.
Perfect. I guess also your company now is also well known in Germany at the investor scene, right?
Yeah, we've had some like Michael Turk covers us in his investment letter, so that has helped create some exposure for us. And we have a few others that have been talking us up. So yeah, it was nice to come in and already have some of the work done for me.
Perfect. But for all the people who don't know you, please give us an overview.
Certainly. So we have three assets. One is in Argentina, which is a producing gold asset called Minera Don Nicolas. We're producing about 55,000, 60,000 ounces this year, hoping to grow that closer to 70,000 ounces next year. It does have a shorter mine life on it, about 3 years. However, because we weren't able to drill because of COVID when we first got the asset.
Yeah.
However, this year we're doing 20,000 meters, hoping to add between 300,000 and 500,000 ounces to the tally. And then because of the success we've had with that so far, we've actually upped the budget to 50,000 ounces of drilling next year. So with that, we're adding 3 drills and we're moving the lab in-house. We're going to certify our own lab. So definitely expecting to push that mine life much higher, as well as look at further expansions. Then we have a mine in Portugal, or not a mine, a project in Portugal. There we have finished, we had an initial feasibility. We're going to be updating that. That will be out by the end of the year. We're going through permitting at that site. And that's a polymetallic mine, 42% precious metals, but also has some copper, some zinc, and some tin there as well.
Okay.
And then lastly, in Canada, we have an iron ore deposit, which is 67% high purity, very high grade iron ore. And so a lot of people think, what is iron ore doing here? But at the same time, that type of project has very good cash flow. Looking at the PEA, you would see $235 million of free cash flow for 21 years.
Wow, what's your actual market cap now?
The market cap right now is about $200 million.
Okay, amazing.
So
okay.
essentially, you're getting the value of the gold producing mine and the other 2 assets for free.
That sounds good for a re-evaluation, right?
Yes, exactly. A re-rating should come as we continue to deliver.
Okay. And you mentioned the mine life. So 3 years, of course, you will extend it. So let's talk a bit more about the drill campaign. For this year, the 20,000, as well as for next year. So main focus is also step out. How big is your project? How do you see the chances?
Yeah, so there's 2 components. So this year's program was mostly focused around the mine on open pit targets.
Yep.
And so we're looking for additional higher grade material to feed into this circuit. However, if it's lower grade, we can still even create on other areas heap leach ponds that we can then bring the pregnant solution back to the mill. The program next year is 50,000 meters, but that's also going to include further stepping out on other targets that we have on the property. And then we also are going underground this year. So while we're underground, we're going to be setting up drill platforms to finish drilling off the underground at depth. So there's like a 2-prong method to that program.
Actually, the producing is about open pit.
The production all comes from open pit currently. We actually have just gone underground in the last quarter. We were developed 3 portals, and so now in the 4th quarter, we're going to start to produce as well from the underground. And so the underground is much higher grade, typically around 10 gram material. And so you will start to see that the effect of that higher grade material coming through in the 4th quarter production.
Nice. And it's just gold or also some?
It's almost all gold, just a little bit of silver.
Okay. But on the other side, then you have polymetallics in Portugal. So especially for us as Europeans, it's always very interesting that mining is possible in Europe. In Germany, it's unbelievable, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But also Europe needs all the metals. So
Yeah,
how's
so-
the support?
No, the support has been very good. In Portugal, we have been deemed a project of national interest, and we're the first mining company to get that. But to get that designation, you had to have support right from the government down to the local communities, and so very well supported in this project. It will bring a lot of jobs to the area, and it'll have a very minimal impact. It's an underground operation. We'll have the mill on surface, and about 4 trucks an hour would go on a ring road around the city to the highway. So minimally invasive, but yet offers a lot of job and economic benefit to the community and to the country.
Wow. So the exact timeline for this project is?
So we expect to, as I mentioned, we'll have our feasibility study done by the end of the year. We expect to have our environmental permit in the first quarter, our construction permit in the second quarter, and we would be in construction in Q3 of 26, looking for first production to come out in the first quarter of 28.
CapEx would be?
It's going to be around 150 million.
Okay, so you can do everything out of your free cash flow?
Yeah, so in terms of the project financing, we have the backing of UCAF. So we shopped the project to multiple export credit agencies, and UCAF backed us in exchange to spend 40% of the capex on UK goods and services. So they're trying to bring business back to them. But in exchange, they offer to guarantee the project 100% from a risk, financing, all those perspectives. That allows then Santander Bank to come in and lead a syndicate of debt lenders to provide us with very low-cost, long-term debt financing. So that's going to take care of 70% of the cost. We also have an offtake agreement, which will bring in some money. And Sprott wants to come in on a stream. They're offering a significant, like up to 40 million. We don't think we want that much. But, you know, so that might leave like a $10 to $15 million delta, which we could cover from cash flow. So you're going to get a second mine into production with no dilution to the shareholders.
Nice. And that's especially the investors wants to hear.
Yeah.
And and then you can sleep better. If everything is fully financed, you don't need to raise money. You don't need to dilute your investors. That's a really, really good opportunity.
It's definitely a good opportunity. When you think of the ability to increase the cash flow, like that mine will probably free cash flow 100 million a year on top of the 50 plus million we see in Argentina, growing there as well. You know, to get that kind of increased cash flow without any dilution is fantastic, and it's definitely offer benefits to shareholders with future dividends and payback.
100%. Beside cash, how's the share structure?
So the share structure, we have 130 million shares outstanding, 150 fully diluted, relatively a low count for a producing mine.
Yeah.
We haven't done a financing since the IPO. We did acquire Ascendant Resources, which is where we got the mine from Portugal from. So there was some dilution that occurred there, but still, for considering the size, 3 assets, and where the company is, 130 million shares is not that unreasonable.
Yeah, and in 3 really safe mining jurisdictions.
Yes.
So it's going to be good for sure.
It's going to be good.
So catalysts for the next couple of weeks or months is feasibility study and drill program. What would you?
Yeah, so I would say the feasibility study coming out on the Lagoa Salgada mine in Portugal will be one. Drilling reports coming from Argentina, as well as our financial results coming in for the third quarter. And then early next year, we will have the feasibility study for Mount Sorcier, which is the iron ore project in Canada, as well as further environmental and construction permits in Portugal, and further drilling information from Argentina. So a lot happening and a lot of catalysts coming.
Wow, perfect. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And for our viewers, please check out Cerrado Gold. It's an interesting company, and if you have any questions, come back to us.